I turned 25 12 days ago, and I'm a little bit shocked. Like, I didn't think I would feel this way. I'm happy to be older, to be alive, but there's this weird feeling of just like when you had your life planned in your head and then you reach that age that you gave yourself and you're not there. It's like, yikes. And I'm feeling the yikes a little bit. The thing that I think is the biggest reality check in terms of getting older and wanting these things out of life at certain times of life is not folding into society's timestamps. Like, where did I get the idea that by 25 I should be rich and have houses and all this stuff by 25? Because if you think about it, 25 is young. Who told us that by that age is when we had to have it all together? Because most people don't have it all together by 25, and that's okay. And I think growing up in this age of social media, where you're seeing people your age or younger than you get new cars, live on their own, and have all these successes, which have always motivated me. I've never been a hater. Like, not to toot my own horn, I've never been a hater. I've always been like motivated and inspired by people like that. But then sometimes it turns into frustration because it's like, well, what's the difference between them and me? Why can't I achieve those same things? But it's all about the steps that you take. How serious are you taking it? But it's also about timing. Like, some people's timing was just their timing and yours isn't there yet. I just wanted to talk about some things that I've learned by 25. The opinions of others really and truly don't matter. And sometimes when you think that people think negatively of you, they don't. A lot of people are rooting for you. Some people silently, some people out loud. And regardless of what people think of you, you need to be happy with yourself. You don't need things. Spend money on experiences. I have wasted a lot of money in my 25 years of living, and I've learned that I'm always more fulfilled when I spend my money on experiences, spending time with friends and family, doing things I've never done before. You know, you don't need new clothes and new shoes every week. Stop watching those hauls, okay? Being alone doesn't mean you're lonely. I thought I was a weirdo for actually enjoying being by myself. If you enjoy being by yourself, that's okay. Like, some of us just want to hear quietness. Some of us just want to hear our own thoughts and not have to be around other people, simply put. If everyone agrees with what you say, you're not saying anything. I feel like we live in a culture where to be safe, you better agree with what the masses agree with. If you really want to get your perspective out there and start a new discussion, you need to say some things that some people won't say. Now, let's not, let our brains lead us to the extremes. If everyone agrees with everything you say, you need to ask yourself, who are you trying to please? What are you afraid to say? Like, what are you afraid to ask? You can't level up in your comfort zone. Your comfort zone will keep you stuck. It is called the comfort zone for a reason. It's comfortable. It's safe. But if you really want to make a difference in your life, you need to step outside of that. Don't camp out there. Pack your stuff up and keep it moving, because you have potential on the other side of that. You're not a self-improvement project. We're humans. That doesn't give us the excuse to just act a fool and act crazy. But sometimes we're mean some days. Sometimes we're just closed off. Sometimes we don't think about other people's feelings and we don't think about certain things. And that doesn't make you this evil person who needs to go reevaluate their whole entire life. There's going to be some days where you screw up. There's going to be some days where you're not happy. And that doesn't mean that there's this void that needs to be filled and you need to go into this whole spiral of self-help and elevation. You just needed to eat that day. Like, some days you needed a Snickers. Faith without works is dead. You can have the strongest faith. Faith without works is dead. If you have faith for it, also take the steps to get you there and trust God in the process. You're allowed to change your mind. Don't let anybody say, oh, you switched up, you're wishy-washy, da-da-da. You're allowed to progress. You're allowed to get new information and come up with a new conclusion, and you might do it again. You might do it over and over again. I think we need to give ourselves and other people more grace for changing their minds. Life is about adding value to others. Happiness is not constant, and it's also subjective, in my opinion. But for me personally, I think that for most of us, when we're serving others, when we're adding value to others, and using our gifts and our talents and our love to help others, that's when we're at our happiest. When we feel useful, when we feel valuable, and we can add and pour into other people. That is what life is about. I don't think God would have made all these people on the planet if we were just here to serve ourselves. Takers will take as long as you let them. You got to tell people no sometimes, and you're gonna feel guilty. You're gonna feel mean. You're gonna feel like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. You got to tell people no sometimes, because if you don't, they're going to keep taking and taking and taking. Embarrassment is a choice. I feel like embarrassment is based off of what we think someone thought about the situation and like how we felt in relation to that. So really, embarrassment is not real. Like, it doesn't even matter. I'm not gonna lie, there are some things that happen that are like super embarrassing and you just want to jump off a cliff, but just laugh. That's what I do. Wisdom doesn't always come with age. I laughed at that one because, man, I feel like a lot of older people, a lot of adults will just think that they know everything because they're older, and they'll judge you for the things that you did or for the way that you want to do things. And it's like, I will say, respect your elders, y'all. Now, unless they're being disrespectful, just because someone is older, it doesn't mean you have to listen to them. Some people have the worst advice, the worst opinions, and it's just like, why would I listen to you? Every day is a great day to dress up. I think I wasted my 20s dressing horribly. Your style is unique to you, and you feel the best when you wear what you want. Don't feel insecure that you're overdressed or that you aren't dressing the same as everybody else. I mean, yes, if you're going to a wedding and you're wearing sweats, that's crazy. Don't do that. But y'all know what I'm trying to say, okay? Dress up to go to Target, to go run your errands, to go to Whole Foods, wherever you shop. Aldi. If you go to Aldi, you can wear whatever you want. It's okay to not have all the answers. We live in a culture where people will literally bully you because you missed something, because you don't know something, or they think they know more than you. No one has all the answers. Beauty is subjective, and it is defined by you. There are some people that are going to think you're ugly. There's some people that you're going to think are ugly. And there are some people that think you're beautiful, and some people that you think are beautiful. And depending on who you ask, it's going to vary. So whoever you're looking at online or in person or at your school or at your job that you'd rather look like them instead of how God made you, remember that you are beautifully and wonderfully made. Common sense ain't common. And sometimes you just got to shake your head and walk away. A lot of the times you expect people to just have this common sense, this common knowledge, and just have the same mind as you. And it's just not true. As frustrating as it is, it's just not true. No, I'm just making a video. Yeah, if you want to, you can say hi.
How y'all doing?
What's your name?
My name's Charles.
Nice to meet you, Charles. If you're a Christian, you probably know that it is good for us to read our Bible. It is good for us to be in the Word of God. And there are times when I just feel like I don't hear from Him, and I just don't know what to do, and I'm lost, and I feel like He's not there. And then I realize you haven't even read your Bible. Like, how are you going to hear from God and you don't know what He's saying or what He's said already? And as ancient and old-timey as the Bible may seem, it is still active today. It is still useful today. Eat like you love your body. This one's a struggle for me. But, man, you hear it all the time. Eat your vegetables. Drink your water. It really does matter. Being misunderstood is a superpower. This one may sound a bit contradictory. I feel like I've been misunderstood for most of my life, and most people don't understand me or what I'm trying to say. And it really has helped me be more intentional about what I'm saying and be more intentional about how I communicate with people and constantly growing and changing. And so in that way, it has been a superpower because I'm able to think of new ways to communicate and just crave information and progress in a way to communicate with people and how I interact with people throughout life. And I think that's really cool. You are not the labels that people put on you or the boxes they put you in. Don't let people project an idea of yourself onto you. Don't let people who misunderstand you put you in a box in efforts to understand you, because that's what people do. When they don't understand something, they're just like, oh, let's put it over here because that's the best way I can understand it. Singleness is better than suffering. I would rather be single than to be in an unfulfilling, pointless, toxic relationship or situationship. Like, y'all can have that. That's for the birds, seriously. I enjoy being single. Don't go with the flow. Now, this sounds a bit contradictory to what you hear. Don't go with the flow. Take matters into your own hands where you can. If there's a goal you want to reach, do the work for that goal. Focus on that goal. If there is something you want to do, don't wait. Do it. When you go with the flow, you're literally just going with the flow. You're literally not focused. You don't have a destination. When you go with the flow, you can easily get distracted and let things stop you from getting to where you want to be. Your circle matters. Who you hang out with matters. The people you interact with on a daily basis matter. And sometimes you are put in people's lives to help them and to motivate them, but you definitely need those same people in your life. And what you're around is what you become.